as logical reasoning. What's up, guys? It's your girl Adara. If you are new here, welcome, and if you are a returning watcher or subscriber, welcome back to my freaking channel. A long time no vlog. The last video I uploaded was 2 weeks ago, and it was a room tour. But as far as vlogging, it's been a really long time. I think according to YouTube, it's been a month since the last time I have uploaded a vlog, and that's actually sickening. I just haven't really been super motivated to vlog, because if you are a returning watcher, then you know I typically like vlog like a week in my life as a criminal justice major, but I'm on summer break, so I've kind of been in like a funk as far as like what I want to upload. I have actually tried to film this video quite some time ago, and I just didn't like how it was turning out, so I ended up scrapping that footage, but here I am again. If you don't know me, my name's Adara. I'm 20 years old. I'll be 21 in July, and I'm a criminal justice major, sociology minor, and I'm currently studying for the LSAT. I'm aiming to take it in September, and if not September, then most likely October. Just depends on like what my score is. Today is currently Wednesday, and it's June 26th. It's 10:23. I actually just got off of work. If you can't tell by the name tag, I work at Ulta. Ulta is kind of like my dream retail job. I love makeup, I love fragrance, and I love skincare. So when I got a call back from them, I instantly took the job. So I won't be going to the library today. Typically, I don't force myself to go anywhere after work unless I feel like it, and I just didn't feel like it today because this shift was extremely long. And one thing that I've learned about myself as a college student throughout these last 3 years, I don't know if I said that, I'll be a senior in the fall. What I've learned the most like these last 3 years as a college student is that there's no point in trying to study when I'm like irritable. So I already knew going to the library after work, it just wasn't a good idea because I'm tired and I wasn't going to be able to retain anything. I just wanted to go ahead and like get my intro out of the way, because once I make my intro, that's kind of like my motivation to like keep up with the video. I'm gonna like refresh, and then we'll be back and we'll talk study methods and what I've been doing the past 2-ish months to prep for the LSAT. I started studying at 9:30 a.m. using a test prep book by LSAT. LSAT test prep books are basically full of practice tests that you can do. It has LR and reading comprehension. The version I have is a bit older, so it does have logic games, but I just skipped that section. After that, I took a short break to join a law society meeting. If you're new to my channel, I am the communications officer, and we just had to meet up to talk about events coming up in the fall. Took a lunch break because you can't study on an empty stomach, and then after that I continued to study into the evening, but this time I was using the Logical Reasoning Bible by David Killoran. I love this book, and I'll go further into detail later in the video. Hey y'all, so today is currently Saturday and it is 8:35. It's a cute little timestamp for you. I actually just got in. I've been like out and about all day. I haven't studied today. I typically like to give myself Saturday to just be. I think one thing about studying is that you definitely don't want to overwork yourself, and you do want to have like some type of work-life balance or work-life and study balance, whatever your situation is. But I do just like to treat myself, and you have to give yourself things to look forward to throughout this process. Like today, I went and got a fill-in, so I got my nails done, and I took myself out to eat, went out to eat by myself, and my mom did my little silk press the other day. I'm feeling like myself again because I got a little bit of maintenance done. I just wanted to come on here and go a little further into depth about the Logical Reasoning Bible. I was actually convinced to buy this by TikTok. I have seen a lot of creators getting the Bible it's by David M. Killoran, I believe that's how you say it. And he also has a reading comprehension Bible and a logic games Bible. Logic games is no longer on the LSAT, so no need to get that. He does have these in like sets of 3, all of the Bibles together, but being that there's no more like logic games, I don't recommend buying the stack of 3 unless for some reason, like for personal reasons, like you still want to look into logic games. I just don't recommend putting a lot of your money towards that because this test is expensive and a lot of the materials are expensive. I also want to say really quickly, if you're struggling to like purchase materials, I do recommend a site called Thrift Books. This is not in any way sponsored. I'm a college student and I really don't like buying textbooks, period, because a lot of professors tell you to get the textbook and we don't even open the first page. But I still like to at least have the textbook because sometimes if the professor doesn't do a good job of explaining something, I can lean on the textbook. The last couple of semesters, I've been buying my textbooks from a bookstore online. It's called Thrift Books. If Thrift Books has no fans, I have died. I will ride for Thrift Books till the end of time. I actually got this from Thrift Books, and it's in amazing condition. Their books are used, clearly, hence the term thrift, but the books are so good. They might not always have the newest edition, but like depending on the book, sometimes it really doesn't even matter. A lot of those editions are exactly the same, just with minor tweaks. So I did just want to put that out there because I do like to help as far as like financial burdens in school in any way that I can. But let's get into like the gist of this book. It's basically just like a comprehensive guide that like helps students prepare for the LSAT. And of course, like it covers like the fundamentals of logical reasoning, like argument structure, premises. And then it also covers like different question types. It has so many like explanations and strategies for like each type of logical reasoning question that like you'll find on the LSAT. And then it just goes over like different techniques to like identify and address like different types of logical reasoning questions. And not only does it go super into depth about like logical reasoning, it also has so many like practice questions and explanations, which I love. I feel like you get the best of both worlds because I feel like with certain books and certain study tools, you really only get one or the other. And like there's so many different drills and exercises like in the book. As of late, I've actually been spending a lot of time going over chapter 27, which is section strategy and time management. I'm not afraid to admit, I feel like I struggle really badly with time management. I have noticed that when I take practice tests online, on every section, I feel like I always just barely make it. When I'm done with the section, I'll only have like 5 to 3 to 2-ish minutes left. And I just feel like that's not good because typically I always end up having to like rush and read and finish a question. And of course, on the LSAT, you don't ever want to leave anything blank. A guess is better than not answering anything at all. But still, I want to be able to efficiently pick apart each question without taking up so much time. It says on average, the first 10 questions are considerably easier than the last 10 questions, which I feel like that is so real based off of my experience taking practice tests online. The first questions are like smooth sailing. And then when you get towards the last 2 questions, I'm like, literally, what is this? Within the first 10 questions, there are usually no more than 2 or 3 questions of above average difficulty, which I feel like is true. As the section moves into the teens, the difficulty begins to rise, and several questions in the 10 through the 20 range will be very difficult. So that's really like my thing. Now on the next page, I definitely went to work because like I said, I've been spending a lot of time in the time management section of this book here lately because the amount of time it's taking me for each section, it's a little bit concerning, I'm not gonna lie. So I've just highlighted like a few things. You know, the key to finding the correct pace is practice, as we know. Use a timer, keep track of how well you perform on each section, including how many questions you complete and where you are at important time markers during this section. A crucial factor, solid performance, good decision making, and you know, maintaining your composure as you work through each section. This was literally aimed at me. I feel attacked. It just says you cannot spend a high amount of time on a single question and still hope to complete the section. Ding, ding, ding. That's me. For instance, if you spend more than 4 minutes on one question, then you have lost the opportunity to complete at least 2 other questions. So the thing about me is I'm an overthinker And if I get to a question and I see one answer that makes sense, I'm like, okay, that's it. But then I'm like, wait, this answer makes sense too. And then the next thing I know, it's been like 2 minutes and I'm still on the same question. And that's just, I can't do that when I get to the actual test. I feel like I'm getting a little bit better, but it's just so hard. And then I think in my mind, I'm like, I'm not taking the actual test. I'm at home. So it's like, take your time. But in reality, like, I need to make like my tests, my practice test conditions need to be as similar to the actual test conditions. Like, I need to, you know, try to mimic that as closely as I can. The book also just went more into depth about pacing guidelines. Strive to determine your personal pacing guideline. Basically, like, you're supposed to know your pacing guideline before you even start your test. Create a blueprint for completing the section. This is just kind of like a list of things that you can do to create your own pacing guideline. I've just really been like going over this section a few times just so that I can really get some tips on how to not fall so far behind when I'm taking like my practice tests. Yeah, guys, I just wanted to stop in for today and kind of just go over a few key points as to why I like the logical reasoning Bible. I have gotten like questions on TikTok. I get questions every day on TikTok actually asking me like what I'm using to prep for the LSAT. And I do get a lot of follow-up questions when I say the logical reasoning Bible, because a lot of people don't want to like spend their money on something before they can get like an opinion from somebody, which I understand that. So I did just kind of want to go more into depth about this book. And like I said, I got this from Thrift Books, so it was like a little cheaper than like an Amazon version. So yeah, I just wanted to stop in. Like I said, I don't really study on Saturdays. I do give myself that time to just be, because you don't want to overwork yourself and burn yourself out. Tomorrow I do have to work. I hate working on Sundays. I feel like Sundays are for resting and praising God. But I do have to go to work, and then I'm going to go to church after work because I have to be at work super early in the morning. So by the time I get out, I can still like make it to church, just barely, but I'm still going. So I'm gonna go to church, and then after that I'm gonna study. Hey y'all, so today is currently Tuesday and it's July 2nd. It's 2:57, so it's almost 3 o'clock, and I've had like a really slow morning and just like a slow start to my day. I started my cycle, and one thing about me, like, I give myself grace on my cycle. I'm not gonna push myself to extreme limits. Like, I slept in, I've been lounging around, but I still at least wanted to get a little bit of something done. Right now, what I'm really about to do is my weekly schedule. I know it's Tuesday, and I should have been probably like set my calendar, but I've just been feeling really under the weather, and I'm like just now kind of like getting back to myself. But what I like to do is, for me personally, if I don't have like a set calendar or like schedule or like times to follow, then it's really hard for me to like keep up with stuff, I guess. If I write down like a certain time that I'm gonna study or do something, like, that keeps me motivated. Like I said, I wanted to study at this time, and that's what I'm gonna do. Now, if like life happens and things change, so like if something comes up and I genuinely can't study or whatever, then okay, like, I'll switch the times out. Like, it's really not that deep. But for me, having like a set time that I'm gonna study is really what keeps me motivated. I can't play it by ear or play it by day. Like, I have to have my whole week planned out, especially LSAT prep. Being that I'm working, like, I kind of plan like when I'm gonna study based around like my work schedule and like whatever other plans that I may have. So typically what I just like to do is write down the days and times that I work, and then that's when I go ahead and implement times that I feel like will work best for me to study. Being that I work super early in the morning most of the time, and I get off like fairly early in the day, I typically just go to the library after work to study. And if I don't feel like going to the library after work, which is pretty reasonable because I just worked a whole shift. Sometimes I just want to be at home. Either way, I'll go to the library, a coffee shop, or come home and study. So I'm gonna go ahead and set my calendar for the week. It's still in June and we're now in July. Also, my birthday is July 27th. I'm a Leo and I'll be 21. I'm so excited. I'm gonna film like a prep for me for my birthday, and then I'm probably gonna implement like a little vlog in there. That doesn't have anything to do with this video, but I just felt like saying that because I'm finally in my birthday month. I feel like I wait forever for my birthday to come around each year. After I do my calendar, I'm just gonna go ahead and do like probably 2 tests out of this book for LR. One thing that I really do like about the LSAT books is it's literally everything you would expect on a test in this book. From what I've seen in a lot of test prep books, a lot of test prep books leave out the reading comprehension section, and a lot of practice tests period just don't include the reading comprehension part. So I do like that there's a reading comprehension section for every test in this book. And I'm not gonna lie or sugarcoat it, sometimes I don't do every reading comprehension section because you do have to write a lot, and sometimes like I do prep for reading comprehension, which everybody should be prepping for RC because it's going to be on the test. But right now, like my main focus is logical reasoning, because now that logic games are gone, it takes up like half of the test. So as of right now, just based off of how I'm feeling, I will not be doing the reading comprehension part because I'm just like not in the mood for that. But I will be doing some LR. And what I'll do is once I'm finished with the test, I'm gonna check my answers, and then I'll come back to y'all and I'll let y'all know kind of like how I did. Hey y'all, so it's a little bit later and I'm done with my practice test. I've actually been done for a little while, but I did take a break from like filming because like I said, I wasn't feeling good. But I went ahead and I completed 2 logical reasoning sections, and like I said, I wasn't gonna do reading comprehension today just because I didn't feel like it. I normally practice for RC at least like 2 to 3 times out of the week. But I feel like reading comprehension is actually like my strong point. Writing English language arts has always been my strong point ever since I was young. Like I will always score above average when it came to like reading, writing, and comprehension. So of course I still study it because it's on the test, and I'm not high and mighty. I'm not gonna get too cocky and just be like, oh, I don't need to study that. But for me, I feel like the main thing that I really need to be focusing on, like what I really want to put my focus on personally, is LR. This book is a little older. This book is a 2023 edition, so it does have logic games in here, so I just skipped that section. I did section 1. The way that I do my practice test is the same as like how you would do it on like Law Hub or 7 Sage or whatever other platform you like to do your practice test on. Being that this is a book, I did have to manually time myself, which is important. Just because you're using a book doesn't mean you don't time yourself. Typically when you take the practice test online, it's timing it for you, but it's still important to make sure you're keeping up with time. I gave myself the 35 minutes that you would typically get per section, and then I also still like to use my highlighter in the book on the practice test, just like how you can highlight stuff on your computer. And then I just went ahead, added up the number of questions I got right to the number of questions I got wrong. Being that this book is last year's edition, it's kind of hard to calculate like a raw score because there's logic games included in these practice tests, and I'm skipping that. I'm not doing logic games. When I do practice tests out of the book, I don't necessarily have like a raw score that I can come up with, being that a section is kind of like missing, I guess, because I skipped the logic games part. But just for reference, on the first section and logical reasoning, I got 16 questions out of 25 right, which is an improvement for me. I know for some people that's probably not the best, but that is an improvement for me personally. And then on the second logical reasoning section, I got 17 questions right out of 25, I believe. And personally, I feel like that's good as well. And then to see improvement even by 1 point from section 1 versus section 3, I think that's pretty good. Right here in the book is where they have you calculate your raw score, but like I said, these logic games and I have to skip that section, so it's kind of hard to come up with a raw score when there's a whole section worth of points missing. The next time y'all see me, y'all probably be at the library. I just realized, because I've edited this video all the way up to here so far, and I realized I'm pretty sure every single clip and segment I've been at my house. And normally I study at coffee shops in the library all the time, but I just feel like I always forget my camera every time I go to like the library or a coffee shop. So the next segment I'll probably be at the library, and that'll probably be kind of like the conclusion to the video, because I feel like, first of all, it's taking me way too long to film, edit, and get this video out. And then on top of that, like, I don't want to drag this video out. This is just kind of like a study with me. And just a quick disclaimer, this video is in no way, I'm not necessarily trying to be like informative in this video. I have noticed that like I'll see creators just like sharing a journey that they're going on, and they're getting like criticized because they're doing things wrong or not doing things the right way or giving people like the wrong advice. But I'm just here to say, I'm not trying to give you guys advice in this video. I'm not telling you what to buy. I'm not telling you how to study. I'm not telling you how to get a good score. This is simply just like a motivational video for you to watch and tune in if you need motivation to study for the LSAT, or you just need a comfort LSAT video. I'm a first timer, and I do get a lot of questions of people asking me, so like, hey girl, how do I study for the LSAT? How can I get a good score on the LSAT? And honestly, it's like, this is a work in progress for me. I'm not gonna sit here and be spewing out advice when I need help and advice too. I'm just another pre-law bestie along this journey with everybody else. I'm just putting that out there because I don't want anybody leaving any comments telling me this is wrong, you said this, that's not correct, this and that. I'm not here to tell you how to get a good score. Enough yapping, because I don't want to talk too much. Some people say I talk too much. Some people say I'm not detailed enough. So I just try to give you guys a mix. So in the next time y'all see me, I will be probably at the library somewhere. So my friend recently sent me a free PDF of the LSAT trainer by Mike Kim. So I actually tried that for the first time at the library in this segment. Being that I just started reading it, I don't have too much input, so I have to update y'all in a later video. And then after that, I took a prep test. I feel like I'm doing pretty good and my diagnostic score has improved. I do apologize if this video was kind of choppy and all over the place. This is my first LSAT vlog, and I'm still kind of trying to figure out how I want to format these, but I do want to thank you guys for making it to the end of this video, and I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will be back with another one.